Welcome to the newest RV interview. I'm here with I don't want to say old friend because you're still very young. I'm old, you're not, but we've known each other for a very long time. ERIN McCARTHY. How are you doing, Erin?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing real well, except that it's getting hot. So, we're in an RV and it's starting to get warm. So, do you remember how we met ages upon ages ago?
Oh my gosh, yes. It was 2002.
Was
actually.
it 2002?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
2002,
that is ages and
which
ages
is
ago.
16 years ago. Wow. You were doing your Brava contest with Kate
Kensington.
Duffy
Yeah,
at Kensington,
Kensington,
yes. And you had, I think it was 750 word entries.
Short.
You were going to pick 20 winners, and I was the first one picked.
Do you remember your story at all? Because I remember it.
I do. It was like a cyber sex kind of story. Wait, that doesn't sound right, does it?
But it was so I read you and I was dying laughing because you were hilariously funny and you're still hilariously funny.
Thank you.
So unless you've changed locks, I haven't read the last few. Super sexy, very funny contemporaries, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I loved your race car series. Are you still adding any to that?
No, that series is done. It
Okay.
ended at 8. But yeah, I'm kind of going back to some of my comedic roots. I was a little angstier there for a minute. Yeah. But back to the
Life
comedy.
takes
I love
you
it.
around.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And then I saw when I was looking at your bio, just to update myself, that you write YA and paranormal now too, and I didn't know that. So you.
I was for a while, but I'm back now just to straight contemporary romance.
But you still have those available?
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And they're under the same name or a pseudonym?
Yes. I had a Vegas Vampire series with Berkeley. It was, and it's sort of in the vein of Mary Janis Davidson, the humorous vampires.
She's hilarious too.
So yeah, exactly. So Mary Janis was in the first contest with you.
I can't even remember all the names of the authors that were in that, but I did that because way back then, everything's changed so much now. It's so easy to submit manuscripts and stuff now digitally. We email them in, but back then they were so strict about you had to have the exact right margins, you had to have the exact right spacing on the stuff. They would throw really good works out for no reason because something wasn't exact.
Yeah.
And it used to make me bonkers. So I had talked to the now deceased Kate Duffy and I said, this is nuts. There's these really talented people. I didn't know you yet, but I knew there were really talented people who RWA and other contests were eliminating because of spacing issues and crap. So, so I said, they can send it any way they want to, and if it's good, it's good. And I told Kate, if I like it, will you buy it? And Kate's like, sure. She was so easy.
She was. Well, and I remember
awesome.
exactly what you wrote in that first email to me. You said, I love it that you have a very strong voice. Yay. And I had only written those 3 pages specifically for the contest.
Oh, really?
You wrote in the email, you said, if this isn't finished, if you ever finish it, I would love to read it.
Oh, good.
And I just saw that as a challenge of, Lori is saying she will read this if I finish it. So I'm going to finish it. And I wrote it in 10 days and sent it to you.
And see, that's the difference between a wannabe an author and an author.
Yes, I was
because
determined.
There's a lot of people say, I've been meaning to write a book. I've been thinking about writing a book. Writers actually write books.
Exactly.
So
and I had been going
difference.
through that process you were talking about for at least 2 years at that point. And it would be, you would submit, it would take 9 months, you would get a rejection, and then you start all over again. So I was like, I have this fabulous author saying she will read my stuff. An email versus like, here, send it snail mail and I'll get back to you in 6 months.
And I was going to say, because back then when you submitted, people didn't understand. You had to print that sucker out. And you had to literally snail mail it and then literally wait 6 months to hear from somebody.
Exactly.
And usually what you would hear would be a postcard saying, I had one that there's not enough male point of view, or the first one, there's too much male point of view. I took a bunch out, and then the next editor said there's not enough male point of view. It's like,
exactly.
Were you? You sold. I don't want to say easy, but an easier path for me. When I finally sold my first book, it was anticlimactic because it was like I've just been working so hard. It's just I'm relieved. But you sort of had a rush to it.
Well, for me, it was, I think I had written 9 books previously.
Wow.
All of which had been rejected probably collectively about 100 times. Yeah. I had been working really closely with a couple of editors at Harlequin. We would do revisions, then they would reject it. Yeah. So like when this happened, it was the most sort of like gloriously fortuitous, all this the universe aligned, and
it just worked out really well.
It was like overnight success after 2 years of absolute,
that's how most overnight successes are, after a lot of hard
through
work.
mud. Yeah.
Right.
So
it just kind of lined up because
exactly.
I was really interested in trying to help other authors. Kate Duffy was wonderful to do it, and you had a fabulous voice.
Yeah, and Kate was very, very quick too when she liked something. She had the power to make decisions.
She used to send me an email and say, the eagle has landed. And within 3 or 4 hours, she would have read the book.
Oh, I know. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And her being my first editor, I had no idea
that wasn't the norm. See, I knew because I had a terrible editor, and I won't say who, but you know who. And then I left, and so it was like I was blown away.
Yeah,
she was like a goddess come to earth. I was really lovely. But I've had excellent editors since. And you had Cindy Wong at Berkeley.
Yeah, Cindy's
she's
great.
amazing.
She is amazing. Yeah.
And now you're doing self-publishing, independent publishing, correct?
And I am also with Random House, Penguin Random House.
I didn't realize. Yeah, that's awesome.
Doing both. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's exciting.
Totally different methods and process, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm writing the new adult for Penguin Random House, so it's a little bit younger. They're first person, and then
so new adult. I'm trying to understand. That's like college age, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like your journey to discovering yourself and your first love and making mistakes, and so it's that transition between YA and what we consider traditional contemporary romance.
Because that's still a fairly new thing. I mean, it's been around a while now.
It's been a while, but I think it's a little more like forgiving too of the heroine making mistakes because
they do.
Yeah,
people do.
Exactly. So this book actually is a new adult.
And is this one out yet? This is newly out?
It just came out May 8th. So
okay, so it's still fairly new.
Yeah.
So this is The Hookup.
The Hookup, yes.
And it's new adult?
It is.
It's a sexy cover for new adult.
Harvard math genius meets Maine lobster fisherman.
Oh, wow. Oh, I like it.
The perfect equation for hookup.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Is this part of a series or a standalone? Or?
There will be a second book to this called The Breakup.
So just a duology.
Yeah, it's a duology.
Okay. Excellent. So, and you don't know when that one's going to be out yet? Is this one of the independently published?
No, this is with Love Swept.
Love Swept, okay, yeah.
So.
And then what's the next independently published?
In October,
Fly is visiting us.
In October, I am launching a new contemporary romance series called Tap That. And it's set in a bar. The bar's name is Tap That.
Okay. Good title.
And it's sort of, Magic Mike meets, Magic Mike meets what? Good question.
Whatever he meets, he taps that. Yeah. Well, you always did do great titles.
But yeah.
I'm terrible at that, but you've always had really, really catchy. And you've usually done most of your own, right?
Yeah, I've done a lot of them.
You Don't Know Jack, that was yours, right?
Yeah.
I love that. That was an awesome title, awesome book.
Yeah, thanks.
Just really catchy ones. When I can remember a title, it's a catchy title because I don't remember my own,
Right.
So it gets confusing after a while.
It does.
So you're doing both. What's your regular schedule like? Do you balance back and forth between the two? Just whatever's due?
Yeah, I pretty much bounce back and forth, or I have been, the last 2 years or so. Yeah. But actually right now, because I'm going to release the new series all at once, I'm trying this sort of Netflix binge watching approach with reading.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop the whole series
at one time.
All at once.
Oh, wow.
So I, be writing those back to back to back.
Wow. That takes dedication.
Yeah.
But your kids are older now, so you have,
Yes.
That people say that your kids are older, so you have more time now. It seems like when the kids get older, it takes up more time. I don't know. That's been my experience.
Well, I feel like I worry more.
Yeah. What are they doing? Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're still like in Florida? Is that where you're at?
No, I'm actually back in Ohio.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So not super close, but.
No, but yeah.
Well, that's excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We'll keep you're on Facebook,
yes.
Erin McCARThy, right? Facebook.com/Erin McCARThy.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Good to see you.